What is up, ninjas? My name is Sam World, and lately I've been more into sound design. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys a technique that you can utilize for Serum, but at the same time, if you think about it, you can use this for claps, snares, anything that you want to turn wide where you don't mess up the phase, the timing of the left and the right signal on it, because as you guys know, when you collapse something like that into mono, you get a bit of a phase issue that happens, and too much of it is bad. But what if there was a way to do it cleaner without doing none of that and get a better sound and more width at the same time? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video, guys. Now, it's hella hot in Cali and I'm sweating balls here, so excuse that, but this video is going to be fast because of that. Now, if you want to support the channel, guys, make sure you head over to evilsounds.com where you can find all my sound design work, and let's get straight into this, guys. So usually the way most people will do wide bass lines in Serum is they'll just put like unison up, detunement down if they don't want that sound. And you notice that as I play this, it feels like you're never in control of the bass. Like we had a mono shot there and all of a sudden it got wide, left, right. It's all over the place. So how can we do this properly and have the low end be in mono? This is the way. First off, we're going to utilize two saws here. Now, a lot of people will say hard pan left and hard right if you want to make something wide. And well, like this, it would work. Or maybe not. But this is the way that you do it properly. If you're going to be using that technique, you got to make sure the left and the right signal are different. If they sound the same, it collapses into mono. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to RM phase, which means the phase will always start at the same position. And I'm going to mess that up. Now here, I'm not messing up the timing of the left or the right. I'm messing up the tone of it. That's all. A change in the way that it sounds. So that way we get width. And at the same time, every time I hit the note, you can see that it doesn't do the same thing as if I were to just go here with 2. And we do this again. You can see that's just super untamed. So this is the way I like to personally do it and do it for the patches I make for you guys, in order to get something that sounds good. Now, from there, it's just finding the right phase. Now, here, you don't want to go inverse on the phase because you will fuck it up to an extent. But the cool thing about this is that you cannot get it like that if you put them on the right positions, because both saws are going to be starting at the same position, and they're going to be going through their phase, aka going from boop, boop, at the same rate. So this one was detuned a bit, then it's a whole different story because now the speed has changed on it, you know, the pitch. However, this way, we have a very strong bass that you can always rely on, will hit hard. Now, in certain genres, this is more important, like obviously in psytrance and G-house, where you have the bass constantly or bam, bam. You want it always strong. From here, now we have to deal with the fact that our low end is wide, and here's the side. You can see that's the case. Okay, so how do we fix that? Well, one, in the filter, we can now take a little bit of the mixing, implement the mixing into it, and A-B. And then we're going to route a sub, triangle, and then from there, we're just going to kind of try to mix that properly. And now we have something that's a little better. The low end here, you can see it's kind of fading out. Not all the way, but good enough. We can get more less strict. Now, the other cool way to make wide bass lines, if you want really massive width, like I ain't even kidding about this, is to utilize the same technique. And like I stated, it works hard left, hard right when you change the tone. If you use the same sound, it's going to collapse. So I could go with maybe like, we'll go spectral, for instance, right? Use a monster. And then utilize maybe another monster, similar vibe. We're going to have a sub direct out. We're going to high pass this. Now, obviously, the right side is a lot louder, so we can play around with this left side, or from there, we have that sub direct out. And the key is just kind of getting that to just sound good. And that's the hardest part. Okay, hard left, hard right. We'll go like so. Now, if we turn this into a punchy bass, in, God forbid I put OTT, but I will. And now we have one. So with knowing that, now if we bring it to the drum department, how do you make this wide? Well, hard left, hard right, we do that. Well, it collapses into mono, it just gets louder. However, if I shift this, aka mess the phase up of the left and the right signal, there's a big difference there, like so. I get that wide up. Now the problem with this is that once I bring in, let's say I bring in, like, I hear this in Grandma's studio or something, and everything in there is mono because Grandma likes to mix that way or hear her records that way. The problem is now it sounds so nasty compared to if we were to just, you know, line it up. Okay. Okay, so, but it does give you width in stereo. Now, the other way to do this, in the way that I think is the best way that I've seen some really dope sample pack companies do it, and this is where I learn a lot of this stuff, just learning from some of them, is that we can utilize, and again, another different, like, clap. And right, I also get the same amount of width. Here, we'll bring another one in. But now check what happens when I put it in mono. It sounds really clean, okay? Okay, it sounds... But if I do even that, where if I want to try doing the fuck up the face, it doesn't even sound as bad as how we had it before. So the idea of this whole tutorial, guys, again, is in Serum, you can utilize these same techniques, hard pan left, hard pan right, have a dedicated sub to get a wide bass that sounds really wide and really good and really dependable versus doing it the other way. And also with your drums or any sort of vocal you might have, you can change certain pitches. I mean, like, you know, vocal +7 or do something where you can have that width without having to mess up the phase of your original source. With that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Very quick one, but again, it's hot here, and I think it's very useful for those of you guys that want to go the extra mile and add that width to your tracks in a very clean way so that when people hear it in different avenues, it sounds clean. Peace out, take care, and good night.